So what was the first video that we did together?
Well, it would be the first wrestling one in I think it was 2016.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, and it is for the #1 contendership for the LCW Championship.
Wrestling was sort of the start of it all. I watched WrestleMania 31, got really into wrestling, and then that sort of went down a rabbit hole of what the wrestling scene was at the time. And so then that translated into the internet and what content I'd watch on there. This is like 2016 now, and in primary school, everyone all of a sudden had their own channel in grade 6. Everyone had their own stuff they posted Minecraft videos.
Well, at that point, I was in grade 6, so not much. All I cared about was, trying to become a Ninja Turtle as a full-time career, dumb shit like that. I think in grade 5, Lucas really got into wrestling and he got a bunch of us in, so I was a big fan at the time. And he started making wrestling videos with some other friends, and so I was very keen to join in.
I was like, I want to do wrestling videos in the backyard. And I somehow convinced other people to be a part of that.
Here we go for his finisher, Beth. That's it, it's over.
Convincing people to be a part of some weird shit is kind of how this thing goes. So we had me as this Lucas Stone. That was the original name. It was gonna be Lucas Stone. That didn't last very long because turns out Lucas Stone is also the name of a porn star. So that doesn't really stick, especially when you have young cousins and kids watching your videos. So my younger cousins, I started making videos with them when we went on holiday, and we made quite a few parody films. When we'd go away in New South Wales, we'd all get together, we'd go, right, we're gonna do this film. So we've parodied we did Need for Speed, we did Star Wars, we did Jaws. Jaws being probably the best one that's still up on the channel because it's just it was good fun, and that's sort of where the whole birth of me getting into film started from.
Oh hey man, just calling in.
There was a YouTube channel, and as well as many other channels that would do an interactive video. And when I discovered this, I thought it was the coolest thing ever. So you had this one YouTube channel where they'd be dressed up as Mario characters, and then they'd tell a story, like a choose your own adventure, by clicking on YouTube video links that they'd put at the end of the video, and then it'd take you to a different part. I thought that was really creative, really amazing, and I wanted to do one. So at that time, I'm with my friend Sophie.
Ow! What the hell?
This was a very cool period in life. Everything was just really cool. Getting through high school and just sort of getting really into the idea of making videos and maybe making something really good.
Wait, hold up. Oh, what now? That painting. Yeah, look at that. Yeah. Hey!
Did that video. There's a lot of things I probably should have known while making that, because things got really out of control, even with the second one. Because some mechanics don't work. You need a video to be a certain length in order to have the video card there, and also because I wanted to do these crazy boss fights at the end, and the editing behind that is the equivalent of an epileptic seizure. It is just a clusterfuck of things because of ambition. And ambition is a dangerous thing.
I'm not bringing all that.
This is where I think my love of editing started developing. I really enjoyed the post-production process because filming can sometimes be a real pain in the ass, and then you gotta start you're fixing things up in post, and things that you thought might not work out start becoming fantastic.
It's terrible. That's out.
Oh, hey guys! What's up?
Here I am really into video making, and then COVID happens. But for some reason, that opened up more opportunities while obviously times were really tough. I was doing drama class for that time, and that was like my favorite subject. Loved acting, loved like having fun, and I was around other people that also liked doing that, and also just, you know, doing silly stuff, making people laugh, but also performing. An assignment was to do an original like performance, but then it ended up being we were gonna do videos at home, and then you come up with like a children's story, and that ended up becoming Dream Pursuit, which was an absolute crack fest. The most bad storytelling and editing you could possibly think of. So despite how crazy that whole film was, apparently it got Charlie's attention.
So after that wrestling period, me and Lucas went to different high schools, so I had a bit of a hiatus from his channel. In the meantime, I became seriously interested in wanting to make movies and stuff, and then that re-sparked our kind of interest in working together later down the line. And I just messaged, I was like, yo, this is really good, I would love to make some shit as well.
He says, hey, really like the film, I have an idea to do something similar, but make it more of a horror twist. And I said, well, I actually did want to take a look into doing something horror related. I got into a very, very classic game called Garry's Mod on Steam, made popular by like the Vanoss crew, who Charlie and I were big fans of growing up. There would be lots of these horror maps, these horror games you can play, these stories you can play in the game by downloading them. One night we're all on Discord together and we do a horror map together. Then it sort of clicked with Charlie coming on wanting to do stuff together, with Sophie being a part of it.
Whoa, that thing's massive.
We would sort of merge all these different maps into one story as like a Scooby-Doo type of thing. But then we were like, well, then we're gonna have this build up to a horror film.
There's the boy in white himself, Lucas Temmie. This guy took like 8 takes to say 5 words.
Came up with this idea of Charlie could betray the group and turn out to be like this slasher wanting revenge. So we did a bunch of episodes for Spooky Investigators, tried to think innovatively of how we can set up the film. We told this relationship between my character and Sophie's character, but then we'd also leave some cryptic stuff that would hint at Charlie's betrayal. If you turn the captions on in the second episode, I think, or there's like little captions that come up that's actually Charlie's, like what Charlie's saying after he disappears throughout that episode at some point. And then there's like little cryptic stuff that would pop up throughout the intro that says like don't trust him or something along those lines. We met up and we shot this, I think we did it before Halloween, so the idea was to do it all in one night, edit it all together, and then drop it on Halloween.
This is the most unprofessional guy I've ever seen in my life.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, action.
We had all this planning, all this build up, and for the most part, things went pretty alright.
Alright, attempt number again.
The transition was interesting because I feel like we improved what we're making pretty rapidly. Like the Backwards Brain Part 2, the little 5-part series. I think, honestly, that's one of my favorite things we've made because it feels the most complete as its own individual thing.
I'm chilling at home one night, and then I just came up with and shot this like complete episode just at my house, where I have a phone call that talks to Sophie's character, get attacked in the middle of the night, and have this really sexual ending at the end where I'm tied up in a dark room with a light above my head. Never looked better, by the way. That actually got people's attention from there, and that's when other people I knew noticed what I was doing and got interested, and people were watching my stuff.
Good. How you?
In my life at the time, I think you're sort of talking about year 11, year 12, 2021, 2022 sort of. Obviously those are the big years of high school. Those are the years you're supposed to be, you know, dedicated to your schooling work, but honestly I was more focused on making YouTube videos and stuff. I started my own channel at the time, so my weeks were sort of like, you know, go to school, do whatever. You know, me and Lucas always hop on Discord, start talking about writing and stuff. Even during school, we would hop on the Google Docs together because we went to different schools and we're communicating on that and writing scripts during class. We sort of filmed it a bit here and there, and you know, one episode a bit from it there, and then another scene from another episode the day after and whatever. But it was really fun. We went to a bunch of different locations. We had a bunch of our friends in it. My favorite episode is probably episode 4. We had the little fight scene at the end. But if I had to pick an individual scene, I really like the one in episode 2 where I chopped the dude up with a machete. It's just shot really well. There's like the shot at the end where the blood's dripping off the machete and the camera pans up. I think that's probably my favorite individual scene.
So we wrap up Backwards Brain. The series was pretty good, and the best feeling was knowing that the production film quality kept increasing with every upload. It was a very rewarding experience and felt good to getting other people's a part of it, and so we wanted to take it to the next level.
Last time on Lucas Industries.
This sucks.
How can I get money?
I really enjoyed it. At the time, we were just so invested in the show, in the plots and the characters. So getting to explore a bunch of different people that we were, you know, like our friends, we would sort of take caricatures of them and make those the characters. And so it sort of felt like a cool twist on real life. I just remember thinking, like, I was so excited to be able to commit to something so much bigger, because the stuff we had done before, like the Backwards Brain stuff, you know, it's cool and whatever, but it wasn't like this like much larger scale thing. Well, we're talking about 12 episodes for Lucas Industries. That's so much time to work with. I think our web series is a very good like sort of medium between like TV show and like doing like a short film, because it gives you so much more time and like to work with, and you have so much more characters and plot lines to explore. So we're so much less limited with what we could actually put in the show.
I'm supposed to hit myself doing it. Oh, hurry up then.
So probably the best moment for me was the process of doing episode 11.
Alright, let's see what we got here. I'm here to settle the case between Mr. Temmie and Mr. Farnback. Mr. Farnback is suing Mr. Temmie for embezzlement and willful blindness from his company Lucas Industries and their spooky investigators thing.
You know, episode 11 is definitely the best one, and to be honest, that's probably my answer for my favorite as well.
There's a moment in that episode where I end up just crashing out at Charlie, and it's probably the best acting I've ever done.
And take the high road. You know what that's called? Guilt! 365 sleepless nights. I got it, don't worry. 365 sleepless nights. All because I thought one night you'd come over and stab me to death so I could finally get what's coming to me.
Even though my hair looked like cotton candy, but we were all like dressed up and everything, and I got to actually deliver something that felt rewarding because it was coming from all what the whole character had been through at the time.
I think one of the best people to feature on Lucas Industries. I liked working with CK Oliver. He was really good to work with, and I think his name is Billy that played Frank in the. Yeah, I think he was a really good actor. I think he delivered a great performance. But obviously everyone was fun to work with. Most of them are all our good friends, so it was real nice.
So I ended up being introduced to Hawk through Charlie. Hawk was also big into media at the time, also wanted to do film, so he was perfect to link up with us. He had like such a great idea of what he wanted to do with his character, and so each scene that he's in, he just had like a lot of personality.
Now, we are suing Mr. Temmie over here for, what was it again? 1 million?
50.
50?
15.
15.
20. 25.
25.
600.
$600,000.
50 cents.
But I think I really enjoyed episode 3, watching it and writing it, because that's probably the most we see Lucas and Charlie interact in the whole series. And I enjoyed writing that, I enjoyed filming it, I enjoyed watching it. But I want to give a shout out to episode, I think it's 9, it's right before the Tull fight. I think that's a really good episode as well.
The delivery was perfect, and it came out really perfect. It was shot really well, and the whole thing was great.
Tell us about how you then made the move to SAE.
SAE, it was a uni that was not originally on my radar. Lucas told me about that and we went for a tour, and it seemed like a really cool fit. It was in, I think it's in St. Kilda, was it? Yeah, and I mean, it's a bit of a travel, but for the most part it seemed like a pretty good uni.
We'd spent so much time at different high schools, and now we were linking back up to do uni together.
I might have been a child the last time I played video. I might have been 17.
You didn't have that little whisker beard, what is this?
I don't even
rat tails. What are
they're
these?
called braids, and they're inspired by Avatar. Honestly, the first whole trimester was great. The period between like the end of year 12 and the end of the first trimester was like those like 6-ish months were like so good. But yeah, me and Lucas had a class together. I think 2 classes together first trimester. So that was really good to have someone, you know, there. He was able to drive me some days as well. So we you know, got a lot of, we did a lot of, you know, freestyling and stuff in the car. We were horrible at it, but I have a lot of fun memories from that time.
So there's one day where everyone has to read their scripts. We get people to read mine, and even though the Way of the King film didn't work out, the shorter version that was presented in class ended up being received really well. I actually got genuine laughs from the stuff that I wrote, so that was just a very rewarding day.
Okay, so where did things start to go wrong for the uni experience?
Where did things start to go wrong for the uni experience? Oh boy, what a question. Do you want the list alphabetically in order the most annoying? Okay. For me, the main thing was it was the travel. It would just take, obviously when me and Lucas were driving together, it would take a while, but when I had to go out by myself, like if I had to make my class at 10 AM, I had to wake up at 5. Sometimes the class would get cancelled an hour before it starts, and I'm already 3 hours into my journey to uni. What do you mean, bruv? Like, what the f***? And also, other than that, like I wasn't able to work as much because of uni, so it was just, my lifestyle kind of sucked a little bit because I wasn't earning as much money, and also like, I did not like having homework as an adult. Like, what do you mean, bruv? I originally just took a trimester off, so I attended uni for a year, and then I took the first trimester of the following year off, but I kind of knew, I was like, oh, if I take this trimester off, I'm not going to want to go back. So then I ended up not going back, especially the amount of more money I was earning per week from being able to work so much more was very appealing as towards my decision to quit uni.
I found myself really comfortable in the editing role rather than the director of like the DOP role. The times I got to edit things was really well. Other roles didn't really work out so great because I just wasn't doing as much as I wanted to do as part of the film, and I ended up having to travel to places I would have preferred not to travel to, like Werribee.
Also, we were at uni at the time, and so we're having to like make a lot of film stuff because that's like the work we have to do rather than being able to do it as our passion and our hobby. So I think that also burnt us out a little bit as well.
But there was a lot of creative potential, and this was the time where Charlie and I finally learned how to film things properly and make things look good. And we had access to like seriously good filming equipment then, and so getting to finally learn how to operate that stuff, amazing. By this time, I've gotten really comfortable in a new friend group of people that was outside high school. This was more of the people that Charlie had spent time with. Built some really good relationships with these people, and they were able to help me out with and support me a lot with my filming endeavors. I found myself really comfortable doing documentaries, and that period of time doing the How Good documentary was like really fun, even with how life was for me at the moment. You know, obviously uni wasn't the way I was hoping it would go. Charlie ends up leaving. I'm on my own going to these classes, and I can't say I didn't really click with most of the people there. There was probably a small amount that I was able to work with, that I really liked working with and did stuff with, that ended up being on the channel, which was very satisfying. And as much as uni was tough, it's good to know that I got through it, because in the end it improved me, and as long as it did that, it was worth it.
To be honest, at first I was like, oh, this probably is going to just be another Lucas Industries, like whatever is happening, it's going to go somewhere and then we'll stop. But we've far exceeded our expectations now.
3, 2, 1, go! Cut right there.
Went off after the How Good documentary happened, and that ended up becoming like a good saying. We liked the sound of it, and it ultimately ended up becoming a brand.
How good?
How good? How good? What?
How good? How good?
How good?
How good? How good? How good? How good? How good?
It was a good next step to legitimize the things that we're doing, and so this is where we're at currently. We have a licensed filmmaking business, and we are going to continue to make films under that name.
But I was like, man, like when Lucas is finished uni, we're going to be able to make so much cool stuff and make it so much better and make it so much more quickly as well. And now we have the How Good Productions business, which I feel like it just legitimizes everything that we're making so much more. Yeah, so we made a music video about in 2024 for an artist called Ella Dunche. She's a local artist that, you know, she's sort of like in our friend group a little bit. We know some people in common. And that was really cool. I think Lucas reached out to her to make a video for one of her songs that she recently released. I believe that's how it went. And yeah, we ended up filming the music video in a day, and we got to work with some cool people. And it was really cool. It felt like our first real big production that we had made in a long time at the time. As for the future, man, who knows what's coming? We're always working on stuff. We're always writing all the time. We do have plans to make some short films. I think hopefully we're going to do 2 this year. We're going to start building a resume for ourselves and hopefully being able to work with some people in the industry eventually.